Hello, everyone. This is Maxine with the Metanoia Life. Thank you for joining myself and my guest today for another conversation about women and where we're at with our health, with our wealth, with our entire being and balancing our lives. Today, I have with me Christine
Lunsford.
Lunsford. I wasn't
Lunsford,
sure
yes.
because when I started writing it, I said, that's not what I thought it was. I wanted to make sure I pronounced it properly. Christine and I met in the Lighthouse Academy,
hmm
and it was an experience.
Yes,
We
it
leave
was
that
an
conversation
experience.
for another day. But Christine, out of that experience, has written her book.
hmm
And I have a copy of it here.
hmm
And let me tell you, it has a lot of good information. So we're going to dive a little bit into the book today, just to give you a synopsis of what she's all about. But first of all, welcome, Christine. Why don't you tell our um, viewers today a little bit about you without going into the book yet?
Okay. Okay, Maxine, thank you. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate being here. So a little bit about me. I am all about holistic. Um, and the more I learn, the less I realize I know.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Isn't
that
that
just is, we'll just put that out there. So if you're listening to me and go, that's not right, it's okay. Go do your research. Um, I'm not a doctor, so the things that I speak are things from me. But I have four Jack Russells. I have got an amazing husband who's an avid golfer and loves life. We live on 13 acres. We have an 18
nice?
by 24 greenhouse. We do freeze drying. I make my own tallow. Um,
Wow,
there's
that's interesting.
yes, that is something relatively new and did not realize how many things beef tallow is in. I was shocked. Like pulled out my skincare one day and went, because I knew
Yes.
it was pure, but I hadn't analyzed the ingredients. Full
And I
disclosure, I
think
had
we're
not.
going to be learning more about beef tallow in the near future, which is a good
Yes,
thing.
yes. So I do that. We grow, but I just like to live life and I start every single day with my Bible study. That is a non-negotiable for me. When I get up, I drink chicory slash coffee. Yes, it's a combination. And I read my Bible with three of my four dogs piled in my lap. So it's a good
Sounds,
thing I have Jack
sounds like
Russells.
a great existence to me.
It is. All I have to say is it's a good thing they're Jack Russells and not Great Danes. I'd be in trouble.
Well, I dove into your book a little bit. I haven't read the whole thing, but I was reading a letter that you have to the readers, and I think this spoke to me a lot. It says, so who is this book for? It is for the woman tired of feeling like her health is out of her control and ready to reclaim her power. It's for the seeker curious about holistic approaches but needs help figuring out where to start. It's for the warrior battling health challenges and seeking support and inspiration. And this really spoke to me because over my life, I have gone through different stages of diet,
hmm
lifestyle, learning different things. I became a massage therapist, and then I went to school to do alternative medicine and just stopped short of being a doctor or an acupuncturist or something. So this has really been very, very close to my heart. So that's why I'm so interested in hearing what you have to say. So tell me, what's this all about? Tell my friends what's this all about.
Okay, well, first of all, I have to tell you, my massage therapist, one of my favorite people in the world. So, I love my massage therapist. I had one for 20 plus years and she had passed away and I was devastated. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to find another one. And I found Vicky and I do talk about that, I think, a little bit in the book. But here's the thing, ladies, at least I'm going to say most of your ladies, guys, sorry, going to speak to the ladies here. You can't ignore how you feel.
That's right.
This adage that we have of push through, just push through it, just push through it, is wrong. It is dead wrong. And here's what I can tell you. 2016, I thought I was the healthy person. I did. They told me I was the healthiest person in the store, and I worked at Home Depot, so we had 100 employees. Um, and I got married in September 2016. October of 2016, I ended up in the emergency room because I ignored what was happening. I
Yeah.
ignored the fact that I was having brain fog. I ignored the fact that I couldn't hold conversations. I ignored the fact that I was grumpy and cranky and blamed it on menopause and was having hot flashes and cold flashes and blamed it on menopause. And, it was really great to have something else to blame.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. I'm like, okay, cool. I can just blame this on menopause. I can blame this on getting older. I can blame this on. And then God said, no more. No more. I have been giving you signals. I've been giving you signals. And guess what? No more. I ended up on a heart monitor for 30 days after being in the emergency room with blood pressure that was 200 over 100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And if you can relate to this, all I kept hearing from the doctors was, you're getting older.
It's natural. It's normal.
And I looked at him, I went, seriously? Whoa, 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 whoa. Back the bus up here. My blood pressure was 110 over 60 for 5 years straight. Now it's 200 over 100, and in 10 months you told me I got old? I was like, I don't think so. So hence the reason the book is called Wrong Answer. Because ladies, we get the wrong answer a lot.
Yeah.
And I am not bashing doctors, so please don't hear what I'm not saying. Doctors absolutely 100% are way more knowledgeable than me in a lot of areas.
I
And
think maybe it's the way they're trained, though.
absolutely. And there is one thing that I can guarantee you, there is not a doctor out there that is not smarter than me,
Yeah.
knowing me. Because just because it's in normal range doesn't mean
Doesn't.
it's my normal.
Yes.
And the same for you. Maxine, your numbers are not going to be the same as
That's
mine.
right.
And if your numbers were my numbers, you might be in crisis
Yeah.
where I'm not. So I really got a very fast education. And oh my goodness, I am telling you, it is by the grace of God that I don't have more permanent damage
Yeah. For waiting so
because
long.
I did, well, here's what I did. I did all the things the doctor said. The cardiologist put me on a diuretic. And here's another thing. If a doctor puts you on medication, please do your research before you take it.
Yes. Very important.
Very, very important because he's basing it on the average in
The
the world.
average. Quote
Yes.
unquote.
So here, let's put
And
you on
none
a
of us are
diuretic.
average. God didn't make anything average, right?
No. And the basis of everything, this is one thing I've learned. The basis of all of our normal is based on sick people.
Yeah.
It's not based on well people. It's based on sick people. I was like, well, wait a second. Why are we basing our normals on sick people? I don't want to be sick. I want to be well.
Yeah.
So by doing that, it compounded a problem that I didn't know I had, which was my sodium and potassium were so low that it was bottoming out. So
Yeah.
when I ended up at a naturopath's office and had a hair analysis done, he's like, this is bad. And I went, okay. He goes, no, you need to hear me. Your organs are shutting down.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm telling you, Maxine, God has me here for a reason because there are several times that I should have died and I'm not dead.
I know, reading the book. Ladies, let me tell you, that is true.
Yes.
Quite a
And
few
just
near
like,
death experiences.
well, okay, so the funny thing is, short version of what's in the book. When I was 4, I drowned. Okay, they pulled me out of the water. I start choking. Not abnormal. Almost choked to death. The ambulance was sent to the wrong campground
Oh
and
my
was 20
goodness.
minutes the wrong direction before they realized, hey, wait, that's not where they're supposed to go. So from a very young age, I was like, okay, God, obviously you had me for a reason because I should have died 3 times in that 2 hours or however much time it was. And then here I am ending up in the emergency room. And again, I don't die. I don't have permanent damage. And man, did that spur some education.
Yeah.
So I want to inspire women in particular. Don't brush it off. Because here's the thing, I get it that you want to put your family first. I get it that you want to take care of everybody else first.
Yeah.
But Maxine, you and I both know you can't do it if you're sitting in an emergency room wondering if you're gonna die.
Yeah.
They gave me nitro pill in there. Lord help me, please don't let me ever go through that again. It was awful. I thought I was gonna die. I mean, I was coherent enough to know that the nurses were in a panic mode.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily panic mode, because I'm sure if there's nurses that are like, no, really, we don't panic. Okay, there was a lot of urgency in their actions. And my poor husband of a month is like holding me down while they're doing an arterial blood draw in my arm to tell me I was having a panic attack. And I looked at the nurse and I went, you did that to tell me I had a panic attack? I could have told you I was having a panic attack. Just ask me. It's not that hard. I was like, oh my gosh. So just listen to your body.
Yes.
I literally wrote this. It's going to fuzz out because that is was what I started saying to the doctors.
Yeah.
That's the wrong answer. And don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not telling you to not go to a doctor. So please don't take that as that. Don't let them give you a stop if you know something is wrong.
I think sometimes doctors forget that God created our bodies to be able to heal itself. It just needs the proper nutrition, environment, you know, just a little loving care and a little bit of help because it's made to heal itself. And do that.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I started taking okay, I'm not going to be a doctor. So it's a naturopath practitioner certification simply because
Yes. A
I
little bit
wanted
more
more education.
education.
Yes,
Yeah.
I wanted more education. And as I'm reading this and I'm thinking, really? Stop and think about what God made here. I mean,
Yeah.
really. It is unbelievably complex and yet simple.
Yes.
It heals itself. And I have things that aren't going to heal. I was diagnosed with essential tremors, which the diagnosis itself is just a crock, but whatever. Um, I
They
have
just needed
tremors.
to give it a name, right?
They just had to give it a name. I'm like, okay, that's just dumb. Why are you giving me saying I have essential tremors? Because you have tremors and your dad has tremors. I was like, that's the dumbest diagnosis I've ever heard. But okay, whatever. But I know now through taking specific DNA tests, I know what's broke.
Yeah.
And I've already had the conversation with God. It's okay. It's going to stay broke. And I have peace with that. And what he has given me was here, this is what you can do to support
Mm-hmm.
what's broken. And I'm okay with it being broken because I can speak to people that have tremors and I get it.
Yeah.
This is what I've done to manage them. Am I healed? No. I had traumatic news given to me earlier this week that fast. I went into, my hands were shaking so bad I could hardly pick up my coffee cup. And I knew at that moment, I got to hand it over to God. I got to center myself and find peace, knowing that I can't fix what is broken.
Yeah.
I can't control what is happening, and I'm not meant to.
It's in God's hands, is
It's
basically.
in God's hands. So I got to learn to shift, hand it to Him, and then, okay, my other thing that I do is I call my sister and okay, Maxine, I think you and I both heard this. We hold the bucket for me.
Yes.
I'm going to verbally vomit all of this stuff out of me so that it is out of me, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
put a time limit on it. Ladies, don't do that for hours.
Yeah.
Your
Yes.
girlfriends will hate you. But that is something that's very powerful, and it's a tool that women can use for all their wellness, is to
Find
have
somebody
that.
who you can trust.
Absolutely. Like, I know if I called you, Maxine, and said, hey, I just need you to hold the bucket,
Yeah.
there'd be no judgment.
Yeah.
There'd be no, here's how you fix it, unless that's what you request. And it's like throwing a rock that's on your chest off.
Yeah.
And then you can breathe, and then you can look at the rock and go, oh, okay, it's just a rock.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. It's okay.
Yes.
Having that friend that you can trust, which I'm blessed with many, but my sister is my biggest one. Like, she knows all my secrets.
Yeah.
She knows all of my secrets. And she also, complete side note here, but one of our next books that we're talking about writing, and I'm either going to make her write it because it's her story, or I'm going to drag it out of her, is her wellness story and her health story is very similar to mine. So we talk about DNA and people using the excuse, and this is an excuse, and it's probably going to make some people mad. Don't use the excuse that
It's
it's
in
in
the
my
family.
genes.
Yes.
I looked at my husband one day and he goes, well, high blood pressure and high cholesterol is it runs in the family. I looked at him, I was like, really? So is that based on a fact of what your body is, or did you repeat the habits that they do and that's why you have it?
Yes. Yes.
And he just kind of looked at me like, didn't like that answer. I am a perfect example. I can say this 100%. Yes, I have tremors. My dad had tremors. My dad did not do anything in his life to figure it out. He drank Coke, he smoked unfiltered Pall Malls, and he loved eating biscuits and gravy. I have never smoked a day in my life. I don't want to put something in my body that will eat rust because I'm
Yes.
sorry. That's just, that as soon as I learned that, that completely freaked me out. And it was like, not putting that in my gut. And I learned through Eat Right for Your Blood Type. I'm not saying it's the end all Bible, people, so don't please go out
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
go crazy. I teach people how to test if a food is bothering them. I tested to see if wheat was bothering me. My tremors got better.
Mm.
So now I'm gluten free, and I know for a fact what it does to me because I intentionally quit eating it and then I intentionally ate it and paid very close attention to the symptoms.
Yes.
And I know the length of time that it bothers me. I know what it does to me. Within 15 minutes, we call it food drunk. Affect my eyes, my speech, my gait. My hands were shaking. Within 6 hours, all of my joints ached. And within 12 hours, my eyes were about swollen shut. And I
Wow.
couldn't get my wedding ring on because my hands were so swollen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's so many things. And man, I could talk forever, but is there anything else you want to ask me? Because I could keep rambling.
Well, the process, did you find doctors who could help you through the process?
Yes. So my first step was after I went through conventional doctors and did all the things that they said and they didn't find anything. I started asking key people. So I asked my massage therapist, I was like, hey, what would you do if this was going on with you? And she's like, I would reach out to Dr. Charles Lewis, who's the naturopath in town. She goes, I'd reach out to him. I was looking at doing iridology. So for anybody who doesn't know, they look at the irises of your eyes,
Yeah.
which isn't what I did, but that was what started the digging. And I ended up with him, and he had me do a symptom analysis. It's 300 questions.
Wow.
And then it ranks it and it shows where your issues are.
Mhm.
Mine was in sugar, adrenals. I don't remember the third one, but he's like, these are the keys that we get to focus on.
Yes.
And then after we got the hair analysis back, we knew very specifically what was going on. So my blood work was normal. The problem lied in the fact that what was in my cells was not normal. So I had a disconnect there.
Mm.
And that's where I tell people, get your numbers, know your blood work, know what your hormone levels are, know what your hair analysis is, know what your DNA is, because you can learn so much,
Yes.
almost too much, to be honest. But that was the big shift for me. And for me, I found out that my brain fog was because I had toxic levels of aluminum in my system.
Mm.
Okay,
Which
that's a
in
whole,
our environment today is not unusual.
it is not, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole. Like we could have
Yes.
an entire conversation on aluminum.
Yeah.
But um, I had to do a heavy metal detox, and detox is a big catchphrase right now. I really,
Do
really
you do
strong.
chelation?
I specifically followed what he did, told me to
Okay.
do. So um, I really want people to hear what I'm saying. Don't go out trying to do a heavy metal detox without talking to somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
Because,
Very good advice.
well, I didn't realize that my levels were so high. If I had not done them properly and had the supplementation to protect my organs, I would have caused damage.
Yes.
Now, I think most things that are over the counter are pretty mild. Mine was not an over the counter. Mine was a very specific through the naturopath. And I noticed a difference pretty quickly, but I had to do it for 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm coaching my sister through the same thing because her and her husband have got high levels of aluminum.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
We get aluminum from certain body products we use, from the things we cook with, cook in. And, people don't stop and realize all these things add up in the body.
antiperspirants.
Yeah.
The one that shocked me that I actually just learned, and I've been doing this for, I don't know, decades, but um, baking powder.
Baking powder. Yes.
Baking powder, and there's no reason for it to be in there. Like you can get, I can't think of the brand. It's like Reds, Bob's Reds, something. Anyway,
Aluminum free. Hmm.
yes, no aluminum in it.
Yeah.
When I picked it up and I flipped it over, and my sister goes, "This has aluminum in it." No, what? Why?
And another thing very important to do is to read our labels.
Yes,
Know what we're putting in our bodies.
yes. And I know there's two great apps out there, and I have no financial ties to either one, so I don't care which one you pick. One is called, the one I use is called Fig, Fig. I've actually talked to the founder 3 or 4 times. Super nice guy. And they're really pushing for transparency in natural flavorings, natural seasonings, because um, this doesn't affect me so much, but if you have a severe allergy to corn, a lot of the natural flavorings are corn based and can really mess with people bad.
Well, I've almost stopped eating corn completely because the corn that we get are all GMO.
Oh
So,
yeah, yes, I
so
avoid it,
yeah.
but I don't necessarily avoid something that says natural flavoring. But I did learn that a lot of that is corn based, and I was like, "Are you kidding
Mhm.
me?"
They mess with our foods. They mess with
They
everything.
do. I mean, even our fruits and vegetables now have got a coating on them.
Yes. Yes.
Is mind-boggling to me, but there are ways. Well, I say there's ways to get it off, but you do the best that you can do.
Can do. Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, that honestly, because God did make this body to naturally detox.
Hmm.
Um, and for me, now I believe I do naturally detox. I had to get over that hump because I had disabled its ability to do that. I say you have buckets in your body, and when that bucket is overflowing, it's really hard to function. So, like, I don't eat dairy. If I ate a piece of cheese, my nose might run a little bit. If I start eating cheese every single day, I am going to have migraines and sinus headaches and a runny nose and seasonal allergies and all of the things, and it's not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really don't eat it, but if I accidentally got a piece of it, I'm not allergic to it. It's not gonna kill me
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's a big difference between an intolerance and an allergy. If you have an allergy, don't eat it. Don't go anywhere near it. If you have an intolerance and you accidentally eat it, you're just going to be miserable based on whatever your body is
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
So there's a
How
big,
long how long did it take you to pretty much find out there was definitely something wrong and your process to get on the other side of that?
probably 6 months to start to really feel good because October was when I was in the emergency room. I had heart monitor in December, the entire month of December. I was off work for 2 months, and since they couldn't diagnose me, I had to go back to work because short-term disability won't pay if you're not diagnosed.
Yeah.
So I saw Doc in February of 2017, and that started the process. So I always say I'm always a work in progress. I'm never going to be, until I'm dead, I'm not going to be perfect. But I started to feel better within a couple months of seeing him. So um, February was my hair analysis, March, April, May. Probably by May or June that year, it was like somebody had opened the blinds and let the sunshine in.
Wow.
Um, I was so bad that I'm kind of known for my smile because I kind of have a Joker smile. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just have cheekbones and have this Joker smile. I had a customer, and this spoke volumes to me because Kyle is in like his 30s, early 30s. And I worked at Home Depot. So I worked with I saw contractors coming in all the time. And Kyle and his dad walked in and he looked at me and he goes, "You feel better." It wasn't a question. And I looked at him and smiled. I said, "I do." He goes, "You've got your smile back."
Wow.
And I was like, "I do." And he goes, "Please don't take this the wrong way, but you looked awful."
Mm.
And he goes, "We were scared for you." I thought I was hiding it. Ladies, you're not hiding it. Just saying. You're just not. If you're miserable, you're not hiding it from anybody.
Yeah.
And he put his arm around me, and him and his dad both were like, "We are so glad to have you back."
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Can you imagine the family dynamic if you have a husband and children and you don't feel yourself,
Mhm,
the the atmosphere in the home, the emotional toll that it takes on everyone.
mhm. And your
So,
kids are gonna think it's them.
yes.
Just
And your
because,
husband.
and your husband, they're gonna think, "What did I do? What did I do?" And the whole time, they're not gonna put two and two together to go, "Mom doesn't feel good."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, moms, one, talk to your husbands, first of all, and ex and tell them, "I'm not asking you to fix it because otherwise they're going to try to fix it." Men
Yeah.
like to fix things. You need to be very specific. "I just need you to listen. You don't need to fix this. Just please understand it." And then don't stop looking for answers.
Yes.
Um, they can reach out to you, they can reach out to me. I can't order a hair analysis. I'm not a naturopath. I can't do any of that. My naturopath does do things virtually. So I connect people to him. But the lab that did my hair analysis, I reached out to them very specifically and said, "Hey, will you give me a list of people that use your lab by state?"
Hmm.
So now I have a contact there. So if somebody reaches out to me and they're, I don't know, in Texas, I can contact them. They will give me a list and I can send it to you. And these are not vetted. Just full disclosure, I don't know these people. All
Yeah.
I know is they use that lab. So that is on you.
So tell me, where can people contact you?
Well, if they want the book, they can go to wronganswerbook.com and that'll take you directly to the link. And I'm honestly pretty easy to find. If you go to Christine Lunsford, put it in Google, it is like the first three pages. Did
That's
not know it was
awesome.
that popular until somebody asked me, and I was like, oh, okay. So, but my website is christinelunsford.com.
And you're on all the socials.
I'm on all the social medias. If you go to Linktree, which is one of the easiest ones, you can do, I don't even remember the link name. Should have put it in here, but literally they go Christine Lunsford. And it's, if anybody's listening to this and it is not a video, it's Christine with a CH, Ristine, and Lunsford is Lun, C as in cat, E as in Edward, and then Ford, like the vehicle, Ford.
And I'll put some of this information in the description as well, so it'll make it a
Yes.
little bit easier for them.
And if they go to wronganswerbook.com, get the book, there's more information in there
Yes,
also.
it's like a guide that you there's certain steps that you can start to take, ladies, that will help you along the way. So it's good in that respect. Remember, she's not a doctor, so she's not going to diagnose you or anything, but it's her experience and it will help you. Maybe if you're having some of the same problems, it'll help you say, okay, this might be what my situation is, and start looking for answers in that respect. So, Christine, thank you so much for
Absolutely.
joining us today. And
Okay, one thing I'm going to send you this link. Anybody who's listening and would like to, I do 30-minute free Empower You calls. So if
oh,
anybody wants further
fantastic.
information, they can, no obligation. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. It's simply a conversation, 30-minute calls, and I will send you the link, Maxine, so people can do that.
Wonderful. I'll put it in the description for them. So
That sounds
thank you for
wonderful.
joining us today. Continue to look after your health. And if you need any questions answered, reach out to myself or Christine. So, from my heart to yours today, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk soon.